Yaya MS Darboe and myself and Bunja Darboe.
Bunja Darboe.
We are asked to testify against Sarjo.
Ya fo itel sisede yaro ke Sarjo kamma.
If you refuse, and then they promise us to be free if you do.
Yen jikindi ko ninga ke ibembula lale.
They compensate us.
Andu ibe bolo sayla ke buluma say.
Back to the army again.
Andu kola ibe murundi la sojari ala kotake.
But we refuse.
Bari balanta.
Yaya Darboe's story is one of remarkable resilience and courage in the face of unimaginable adversity. But first, allow me this opportunity to ask you for a favor. If you have not already done so, kindly subscribe to this wonderful channel and you would never regret it. Thank you very much. And now, back to our witness.
But there was this going to and fro with the NIA.
At this point, who were the people asking you to incriminate Sarjo Fofana?
After enduring these horrors, Yaya's captors sought to use him as a witness against others accused in the coup plot. In an attempt to secure his cooperation, they offered him special privileges, removing him from prison, dressing him in a suit and tie, and taking him to the Justice Minister's office for meals. These moments of reprieve from prison life, complete with good food, cigarettes, and pocket money, were stark contrasts to his grim reality. Despite these attempts to bribe him, Yaya stood firm in his condition. He would only testify if he were granted freedom first. Ultimately, the deal fell apart as the government refused to meet his terms, fearing he might flee the country if released. Yaya's story is a testament to his strength and conviction, even under extreme duress, and sheds light on the brutal tactics employed during that dark chapter in history.
We refuse unless we are pardoned. So whether you can accept a pardon or something, we can be witness against Sarjo Fofana.
At this point, was there any form of evidence even against Sarjo Fofana with respect to his involvement in the 2006 World Coup?
Shila wawato kuna fo sedi yarol bijiri mi alonko tonya wala yatandi ko Sarjo afana ndabula ta 2006 coup d'etat bayri ngola.
Not to my knowledge, definitely.
These individuals that were telling you to testify against Sarjo Fofana.
Yimolu minube fokan atelier ko kali Sarjo fanan tumi saja asefana se bulaka fen ko mantoro kono.
Did you tell them that you don't know anything about his involvement in the coup?
Alia fo ele ko atol man fen long atengin Sarjo la ngin da bulo la ko deta kono.
Yes, we told him clearly. I said, I have no knowledge about Sarjo's involvement or Lantom Bontamba in this March 21st coup. I don't know.
Nina ko indi mako mam fem long Sarjo Fofana la koto wala Lantom Bontamba la koto katara nying March karo coup d'etat bayri ngoto.
So even after telling them that you knew nothing about his involvement, they still wanted you to incriminate him in the coup, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Did you agree to do so eventually?
No, we never agreed. I remember even the then Minister of Justice invited me to her ministry twice.
Utembo fa member minister la kitol ninting la karola sinyafula kan command la minister bundala.
Were you at mile 2 then?
Yes, I have two lunches there. Mile 2. I will go there for lunch, sit down there, had my drinks, talk good, give me some money to buy my cigarettes so that I can be convinced to join the wagon.
Utumombe mile 2 bari kan command jele nkataje nsisije nsikontongo keje si kartol ni mimfengulu dinna si kodo fon fanandina nyimbe pour kantelu sondi dorong itel lafta men.
You were a prisoner at that time in mile 2?
Yes.
What were you prisoner in mile 2?
Ade.
I was born on 2nd November 74 at Badib.
Yaya Darboe, accused of being involved in the failed Ndure Cham coup of March 2006. Yaya endured a harrowing journey marked by relentless torture and coercion. Despite being subjected to 3 grueling sessions of torture, he steadfastly denied his involvement in the coup plot. His resolve was tested further when he was pressured into making a public confession on national television, where he claimed he had not been tortured and had only been questioned. This coerced appearance was carefully orchestrated by the investigators to align his statements with those of his co-accused. However, Yaya's ordeal did not end there. Following the televised confession, he was subjected to additional torture sessions at the National Intelligence Agency (NIA) premises. During his final session, a particularly cruel method was employed. He was forced into a long sack, like the one used for oranges, tied up and suspended in the air. The tormentors, known as the junglers, beat the sack with him inside and dropped it to the ground repeatedly, laughing as they inflicted pain.
Can you tell us what happened in 2006?
Yes, 2006. At first, I was at Union Barracks. One day, I visited ndure Cham. I don't remember the month exactly.
Sorry, before you proceed into that, what was your role at Yundum Barracks in 2006?
I was the adjutant.
So what happened when you were the adjutant in 2006?
Yes, one day I visited Colonel ndure Cham. Suddenly when he was promoted, I think so, yes, just to congratulate him in his office. I remember him just pointing at a particular picture, Yaya Jammeh's picture, the then president, that key boy in Wolof. I'm sorry about the language. So I thought it was a joke. I didn't take it serious. But that was the OOD, then you are not trusting anybody talking to you about Yaya Jammeh's affair. So I just laughed over it and then went. Then came in March 1st, the commanding officer of 2 Infantry Battalion, Colonel Bayo, then was sent on a course, short course in America. And I was posted to go and wait for him there. I was there up till the 19th of March. Then when Bayo arrived from that course, then I was reposted back to Yundum to go and then continue as an adjutant. Then up to 21st of March, early morning, then Wasa came to me, Wasa Kamara, in my office, and then told me whether I was briefed by ndure Cham. I said, no, I'm not yet briefed by ndure Cham. Then he said he was going to meet you, and then you discuss. I said, can you just tell what's happening? Then he disclosed to me that today we want to take off, we want to do a coup d'etat in this country. So ndure Cham is said one of his right hands, is you. So let me inform you. I said, then if it is true and they are ready to do it, I'm really part of it. Then we agreed. So
at the point when Captain Wasa Kamara told you about a coup they were planning, you knew very well that a coup was illegal at that time, correct?
Perfect, yeah.
What kind of briefing did he give you?
Like who were the pillars of that coup, that planned coup? Who is to do what? These are the briefings he gave me.
Knowing fully well that you were going to be part of an unlawful act, why did you decide to be part of this coup?
Yeah, everybody definitely knew it was unlawful, but the disparate situation calls for disparate actions. Everybody was disparate. You said it or not, civilian, military or servicemen in the Gambia, even outside the Gambia. If you are a Gambian, we are all fed up, tired, frustrated. So the only way a frustrated officer can do, or military man can solve his frustration, is by the use of weapon. That's all. So we are there debating. All around 11, we started calling ndure Cham, nobody speaking. Bunja, nobody speaking. Perime, nobody speaking. And a host of others who were our seniors. Then I began to suspect something. I said, what? Something is happening. So we are still there contemplating, calling, nobody speaking. So at around 11, you call now, no calls are even going in. And I told Wasa told me, let's go and make sure this place is disabled because we have to move. It's 11 o'clock. I said, wait, Naturally, military without a leadership is a failure altogether. So all the leaders we are calling, nobody's answering phone. No phones are even no more going. Who am I operating with? I begin to suspect that something is wrong. Either we have been sold out, or it's leaked, or this was arrested, or something is wrong. So we continue that debate and let's go. No, we cannot go, we have to wait. In the debate, then immediately I saw a plane around 12, going towards Yundum airport. Then I told him, boy, Billah sorry, yeah, I'm in this plane. Say, how do you know? How do you know? I say, my friend, use your sense. Common sense will tell you, this coup is not a secret anymore. The America, the UKs, the world, Senegal, they all knew about this thing. So who will allow his plane to land in the coup zone? Who will take this? It's only Yaya Jammeh. And then if he thinks things are controlled, say, no, they cannot be Yaya Jammeh, we are debating,
So at the point when you saw the plane land and you suspected that it's the former President Jammeh's plane that was landing, that was when you realized that the coup was foiled, correct?
Yes, the suspicion becomes, increased. That definitely something is wrong.
Did you still remain at that place you were when you realized that what you were planning had already failed?
Yeah, we stayed for some time after debating, then say, okay, let's go to the highway and look at the environment, look at the traffic, what is happening. So if you look at the traffic flow and then the movement of people tell you something is wrong in town. So by the time we reached the highway, we saw Yaya Jammeh in that small Hummer, short one, led by one bench in front and then short bench at the back. I told him, this is Yaya Jammeh in the vehicle. Then he said, wow, that's true. I said, he's the one in this vehicle. Then he passed us. Then what do you do next? I said, well, there's no solution to this. Just go and wait for our fate. Then say, where do you guys? I'm going home.
Knowing fully well that you were planning something that was unlawful and it had failed.
Yes. Why
did you decide to go home?
Yeah, because even in my speech I mentioned there, I value my parents' life far more than myself, or especially my dad. He was close to 80, my best friend so far. So I knew if I had gone, they would have gone too. They will kill them. I can completely say, not even physically, but the mental torture, psychologically, and the harassment, they couldn't survive it. So I said, let me go home.
Tell us what happened when you arrived home.
Yeah, then I arrived home. Immediately, I took a turn from that highway. Then I close to my compound, so my main gate opened. So I was surprised. Then when I entered, immediately I saw my wife standing. I said, what are you doing? He said, boy, since you left here, man, definitely, my mind was not stable. I know what's wrong, but I cannot just sleep. I was just closing the gate. So then it's a coup, but it has failed. So she asked me, what is the next step? I said, waiting for them. She said, can't you run away? I said, I'm not going anywhere. I have to wait.
And did they eventually come?
Yes, then I went in, packed my things. Then after some 1 hour or two, I had a knock on my door. And I went to the door to see what was happening there. And I saw soldiers standing outside. Then I opened the door. Then it was a Staff Sergeant Cisse Swaibu who led the arresting team. And he told me, sir, as I'm speaking to you, you are under arrest. I'm been directed by Langton Tamba to arrest you and take you to Indian barracks.
Who was Langton Tamba at that point?
As at that day, he was the deputy CDS.
Go on.
Yeah, so I said, okay, let me dress up and go. Then Staff Cisse said, well, sir, is it safe for you to get into your house and come out? It might be dangerous for me, or you may come with something different. I said, no, you know me very well. If I want to go, you know how found me here. So just wait, let me dress up. If you don't trust me, follow me inside. I dress up in your presence, and we go. Then finally, he said, okay, I'm waiting, sir. Then I went inside, dressed up in my military green fatigue. Then my wife asked me, I said, they've come to arrest me. Then my mother also had some noise. He came out and said, they've come to arrest me. Then dad was coming. Then I said, no, nothing. He just want to find out certain things from me, trying to dodge the things from him. But unfortunately, she understood. Then we went out.
My apologies for interrupting. Did they tell you the reason for your arrest at that point?
No, at that time he said no. They said it's to take me to Yundum barracks. Then when I was moving towards the vehicle, I saw more soldiers. Okay.
Was it normal for, because you said the person that came to arrest you was a staff sergeant, was it normal for a staff sergeant to come arrest someone of your caliber then at that time?
That was wrong. It was far my junior, far. Should have been led by an officer, at least a commissioned officer.
What happened?
Yeah, then I came out as I was going to being escorted to his vehicle. I saw more soldiers jumping around my fence. Then I knew the whole place was surrounded by the arresting party. Then I jumped to his vehicle, and we joined together. Then we led, then the escort followed. So up to Bruceby, men ran about. Then he passed towards Sukuda. I said, wait, stop. Then they stopped. What is the problem? So I said, where am I going to? He told me, you are going to Indum Barracks, and now you are passing Indum Barracks. The road going to Indum Barracks. So he was saying, sir, well, let me be honest to you. I'm asked to take you to Mile 2 directly and wait for further orders. I said, what is wrong? He said, there's a coup going on now, and then they say you are part of it. So they said, let me take you to Mile 2 Central Prison directly. Then you wait for further instructions. I said, okay.
Did they produce any warrant for your arrest at that point?
No, no warrant was produced. Yes, then we went straight to Mile 2. Then we entered Mile 2. Then I handed over to the prison wardens at the reception.
When you arrived at Mile 2 prison, did you meet any other prisoner in the security wing?
Well, the ones I met, well, according to the information I got later, but the ones you met, you cannot see them because that cell was the biggest cell, somewhere behind, you know, and then as at that time, when you are new, you cannot even go around, you cannot even take 2 or 3 steps inside, you're placed within your cell. But after some people started coming there, like Wasa came after about 10 minutes, Bunja, people started, coming in like that.
Can you recall roughly how many detainees were brought into Mile 2 prisons on that very day?
Military were close to 25 to 30 then.
Did anything happen to you on the first day when you arrived at Mile 2?
Nothing.
Can you tell us about your second day in detention?
Yeah, second day, 22nd, I think the whole day was quiet. Only the people coming in, more people are coming in, then up to around 11, 12 at night, then a party of the blacks, the junglers came, and then they were led to my cell by jar guide, or one colleague then, with one Mr. SPO Jamme, then came to my cell, then they pointed the cell to them that he is here. Then the cell was open. Then immediately it was opened. Then I was asked to put my hands behind. Then I put my hands behind. I was cuffed. Then I was escorted to the reception outside, where I found 2 vehicles waiting. These American pickups. Yes.
Who were the black or junglers?
These are the killing machines of the former president, Yaya Darboe. They are the chief torturers, the killers. Whatever bad they can do for him, they would have done for him. They are not doing it in the country for him.
Were they part of any security outfit?
If you go by military setup, they are not part of the military. These are forces set up from the military, hand-picked people, and then made a special military, but they are not part of the military setup.
They were military officers, correct?
Yes, and they were picked from there and made this kind of I don't know, organization, or you got a special unit.
Can you tell us how they operated, since you said they were not part of the military setup?
Yes, I've never worked directly with them, but all I knew, they directly under the president's office, and the orders were directly from the president himself, or through then Sol Baji, or somebody close to the top then, or the presidency, who gave him special tax. And then they carry out those taxes for him.
What happened when these junglers escorted you to the reception area?
Yes, then I came and found these two vehicles waiting, then led by Borakoli, General Borakoli. Then when I came immediately, he said, sir, we want to go to the NIA for interrogation. So try to cooperate with them so they can save your skin. So you can join the first vehicle. That was his own vehicle. Then he went to the other vehicle because those soldiers or those black blacks were almost out of control. They are almost drunk and drugged, out of control. Then he went to arrange them. Then some of those in those around my surroundings started making remarks that the small boys just got to the army yesterday, you got ranks, you got everything, we still want to be presidents, but we will kill you and then fuck your wives and then a lot of remarks. Then.
Can you recall the individuals that were part of the junglers that were insulting you and throwing remarks at you?
Yeah, very few of them, because I never worked in the State House. So I know Maliki Jata, I know Korea, I know Sanamanjang, I know Dembo Jaju. These are soldiers who work under me directly. I know those guys. But the rest, I don't know. But all I saw them, they are in their blacks, mask. And then, that's it.
Apart from insulting and taunting you, did they do anything else to you?
Yeah, so that was time I just turned at them, glanced at them, just to, try to acknowledge, or try to show them that I'm not in for this thing. So that was another offense. All of a sudden, I just saw them jump on me, then they started kicking, mounting, beating, and so forth. Then, but I started on them. What are you fucking doing? You can't do it for my fucking orders. Why are you doing this thing? Then they calmed down a bit. Then Bora came, he said, anybody who touches this guy, I'm going to get the hell out of you. He said, sir, please get into that first vehicle. Then that was how I got my peace every time. Then I got into Bora's vehicle. Then he further warned them that nobody should touch me unless we reach the destination I'm asked to go to.
And where was this destination?
It was the NIA premises.
Sorry, Mr. Witness. The chairman just brought to my attention that we need to make arrangement for interpretation in the local language as you speak.
Okay.
So this time around, you would take it a bit slowly so that the interpreters can get everything you say and interpret it in the language.
Okay.
In the local language. Mr. Interpreter, we set?
Yes. Yeah, we set.
Great. So we can proceed from where we stopped. That was after being beaten by the junglers, you were led to the NIA, correct?
Natenten kabodameng bring jongla solio liparo kela fo ila nyaton ko diamute utumulo ye samba NIA.
Yes.
What happened when you arrived at the NIA?
Muna kata biral futata NIA.
And we went to the reception. And I was there sitting waiting for them. And two of the soldiers came close to me. Part of these junglers. Turning to be Mr. Good. And they told me, sir, please cooperate with these guys. Save your skin. Save your skin. Okay. Then I said, but I've told you clearly I don't know anything about this coup. Then, sir, then you are going to suffer here.
Can you tell us where at the NIA this conversation happened?
At the reception.
And who were the people present then?
The junglers, led by Musa Jammeh then. And Musa Jammeh, we call the Malia Mungo, Captain Musa Jammeh is late.
Dolia lo Malia Mungo la bari sainteng abantale.
And what did you understand by the advice they were giving you?
I just want to make sure they have done a good job by confirming that this is coup plotters.
Lafta jela rong puru mo ya jako puru mo ya jako itoli ku kendo le ka jako mo ya fako nyinde ni do ku kendo le ke pour ka nyin kule dal la mutana ke inati ke sondi.
And after that, what happened?
Then they led me to a flower bed.
Narana samba larang dodo flower bed.
Flowers.
Flower alto. Yiri jambuldo.
Exactly, just between the blocks at the NI behind.
La koma je NI la dingrado be je koma je.
Then there I was asked to kneel down.
Jedo e konga suji din kumbali ngola.
With my hands still cuffed.
Han ka bimbulol be sitring.
And then started sending questions.
Jedo ya commencé ka nyininkarol la.
About my, okay.
Sorry, at what point did they cuff your hands?
Just departing from mile 2.
Mile 2.
Go on, please.
Then they asked me questions by my role involvement. So I denied I was not involved. And as these questions were going on, just somebody just took me from behind. And I fell on my stomach. Then these teas and all types of material started, beating, raining on my body. The Musa Jammeh intervened. He said, wait. Don't you know this man is going on TV by tomorrow? So just be careful. Then I was made to kneel down again. And further questions started coming again. I was still denied. So then this continued for almost 30 to 1 hour.
What were they using to beat you with?
You have sticks, wire coils. You have this trunk, I don't know what they call it. Hose pipes. Some use their feet. Some use their hands. There was no specific materials used.
How many of them were beating you at the same time?
Yeah, almost 4 to 6 people.
Are you able to recall the individuals that were beating you?
Yeah, only these 3 as I told you, that is Korea, Jaju, Modu Jaju, Sana Manjang. Musa was the conducting officer, Musa Jammeh. He never beat me, definitely.
How about Malik Jatta?
Malik was present, but he said he was not going to beat me because a special thing with Malik.
During the time when they were beating you, were there any NIA officers present?
For NIA la du kulalu sotontale menube ma berinje men ya seria.
Yeah, might be, but I didn't see them physically. Because during the statement writing, they'll collect the paper from me, and they will climb up. They come with certain things to be changed or adjusted.
We'll get there gradually. So let's just focus on the beating.
Okay.
So you were beaten for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes.
And during the course of the beating, You said that Malik, was it Musa Jame, cautioned them?
Yes.
That you're supposed to appear on TV.
Yes.
Can you tell us what he meant by that?
Yeah, I came to understand that they trying to avoid to wound me in the areas that can be exposed to the world to know that this guy has gone through a lot of hell.
Men kalamda wala mindigo ilafta ka kolel mabo puru ikana ni bawo ni en findin telero dunia be kana je ko nyinde ya lipale imaje ya balol barman ilafta ka wala mabo.
One please.
Because Farin Sanyang was wounded all over the head. I could remember they refused to show him on TV. Only broadcasted on the radio. Only the voice. I came to understand that statement.
Can you tell us the parts of your body that were being beaten? After this word of caution from Musa Jame.
It was virtually from my back directly to the fist. That's all we are busy beating. When the face and the stomach, this exposed area, we all avoided.
What happened after the beating?
Then I was asked to write this statement.
Was it immediately after the beating that you were asked to write a statement?
Yeah, because the beating was like, it was going with what they want me to say, what they want me to know about, you know. So as you go on here, beating for 2 to 5 minutes, or they will stop and ask you questions, and ask you questions. Then after they ask you now, after that statement.
Budero kata kakenu nyame wala mnyindiko katare bude kane be nyininka la iba jabila ni bude minute lulu ya na londi ye nyininka pour ya kuma kan di safero ka wala nyamon ni bude do mandi ya londi ni bude do mandi ya londi ye nyininka.
Then they asked me to write the statement exactly about what I know about this coup.
Jedo inara na fasila nganna kuma kan di nin safero do fang ngamel long ako nyinto menketa kudeta nyina karola.
Then I wrote at first.
Follow nga safero ke.
Then when they read it,
kabri ya karang.
Then they took it to that somebody there, I don't know, at the top.
Ya samba modo e santo mala njuma kendi njumala kilimu ya samba e santo.
Then they'll come down. Musa Jame himself will take it there and then come down with.
Ate Musa Jame fangole ka kaito nyin samba ngamen safa samba na ejina nkotenke.
There with things to change and adjust.
Wato do ninga jina na sai tandi na ko jambe talala wara jambe la falale.
Yes, so we was going until they think they were satisfied.
Itarta wala ke kan fo wato men ay se wota ko nyindo.
I remember some of the statements still.
Hakilo ba kan kuma kan nyin ngamen di nyin safero na hakilo be dol fangol kanne.
Even Justice Ajim confirmed that they were squeezed in during our trial during the trial at court martial.
Hani jojo nyi van jojo government Justice Ajim o fangol na na kala mutala ko na kitio nyi wijen kono ko de to do kera jele wato men be na kuma kan nyin tala.
You mentioned that while after writing your statement they would take it to someone upstairs.
Yes. And
they will come back with several suggestions to be made on the statement.
Yes.
Why do you think they were doing that?
They are trying to collaborate statements. One of the statements they showed to me was Bunja Darboe's statement. General Sheikh Sekan's statement. And Wasa Kamara. And these are collaborated.
Were you shown these statements prior to you writing yours or after you had written your statement?
yolu itandi la le janning ite bela kuma kan safela bang fo la kuma kan saferin kola lo ina ta wala way kuma kan lu itandi la
Yeah, during the writing.
Safaro ni wecho nyin kono la.
They will tell you, look, Bunja Darboe said this here.
Iba fulen na yanko ya jele Bunja jabe ko nyin.
But you said this.
Balita ko nyin.
So naturally, you have to adjust yourself to be in line with Bunja to at least collaborate.
Or jeto fay finansi la ko la fa do manding yaranto ya falling pour ini nyindo ini Bunja tal si nyomura.
Did you do that willingly?
yo dun ke adiyate fangale ka okay bang
Never.
Ani dodo.
The words that were written on your statement, do you believe that those were yours?
munta kuma kan lu men be saferin le kuma kan to ila ta la koy fangla kuma lem bang
Yeah, false words, yes.
Kuma kam folol ha.
False words.
Kuma kam folol.
Forced to do it.
Ye force
le praya ke
Apart from the junglers,
jongla solu kola
were there any other individuals that were coordinating the writing of your statement?
fomo dolu fanal bijele men ya lonko yebulo soto ila kuma kan safeta alto anyanta kala nyami.
It's not directly as I told you.
Man kan yindigi ye bulo soto jele jaharande.
But because the statement, as I told you, will be edited somewhere. I don't know who were there.
Ninga safe ka samba dingira to me alongo wolle kado falling kado tala.
And I've never appeared before a single panel. I've never appeared.
And nana mang si hani kisi la kafu killing nyati lo ko nga fo nyame.
After they were satisfied with the content of your statement,
Bring itata hanfo ite sulata kuma kam façon lu mennu la kabo ite la karola. Bring ite lu sewota wala.
can you tell us what happened?
Munenata ke.
They took me back.
Yemburundi.
And then just to remind me that tomorrow you are going to give your statement on TV.
Kan hakilo bulana nyinna ko ka fanya ko sama hakilo ki sama ibina findila television to yela kuma kan odi.
So if you deviate from this, more torture is going to follow.
Andong woni ni na yintandi ko ani nyin li parole men bina bulan la noma.
Wala mnyenti niyo silo bula mbeli parola fale yen ko tak.
Who was giving you this warning?
Jumala yo dandalaro ludila.
It was Musa Jame.
Sa jamme.
And you believe that if you deviated from the statement, he is going to carry out those threats on you?
Wala mnyenti ako membe safarin kaito bala. Nina ta kuma fo menni wo fatata bitung akaw silandir kumol men fo ke tajire ya monta be nyongole kala.
Yeah, in fact, worse.
Wala ma membe jambela wo fangoti.
Before appearing on camera,
Jalnal be finta o camera nyati limula.
did they say anything to you?
Fo fenne fo flow bang.
No, nothing. Only Lantom just greeted me. Darboe, I said, yes, sir.
Hani man fam fonye fo naboda lantom boy kontonro men kanya konya Darboe ye benya din kay benya.
Apart from Lang Tombong, did anyone say anything else to you from the time you were taken from Maltu prisons to the NIA this second day?
Tilifula njao nyina na manke lan tombol ni la nyo kondonti. Fumo do fanan sotontale me kuma foye bang ulungu la NIAG.
I think the only brief I got was, as I told you, just come and give out your knowledge, involvement, roles in this planned coup or failed coup.
Kuma men soto jere men fanyo lem nyinti ko nana yela kuma kan di londo re men lon nyin coup d'état me yalon ko coup d'état bayri ngolen e londo men soto je ina odi.
And then maybe the other thing is like they tell you at the end of your statement, just plead to the president to that is an error, you have regretted, and then you can maybe be pardoned.
And we kuma ko nyi na labandula ka men foye tu membe je wala nyindi ko si ay tandi je ko president nyi asiyam fe ko nyingu filole ti menkete bulu atake la kotanke ko la foye o keje.
Well, they said the biggest target was ndure Cham, who they are looking for.
Katung yayin foje ko ila be men fa de ma ka men ko fa ko ngoti wala ndure Cham ti.
And the president is happy that no blood was shed and nobody was found in action. It was found in your bed, so that shows that we were not committed to it. You are just being baffled by ndur Cham.
Eko yen tandi ko momam fa momam barma ko nyin kono yemo betare la bungole kono belare la bungol kono bari nduru Cham wala kata modi me anan ko wala yal nene kal dum ni nyin ko kono.
So that was all they will tell you.
O donna ye wala fanyi.
And what happened after they've told you that they were not interested in you? They were only interested in the kingpin who was Ndure Cham.
Sai mun na ta ko be ko la briya nyim fana yitande ko atelu banke moti insulata men la fam baake mem mu ko kun don ko tin Ndure Cham na solo mo le famti.
And I went ahead and gave out exactly what they were requesting on TV.
Ntara santo nga di lafta men na fem fam nga di ngofo television auto.
The said statement did air on GRTS, correct?
Nyim kuma kangolo aliya nyim memfo ya findindi GRTS le.
Yes, ma'am.
Ade.
The said statement was also aired on the TRRC.
Nyim kuma kankele mo fana yole findindi TRRC jang.
That's a portion of it.
Munta amanke abeti bare ala fanna do.
Yes.
At the end of your statement,
Ila kuma kan safari ngo bandulato.
Can you tell us what you said on TV?
Afonye yemune fonung television nyati limula.
Is to assure the general public that we are not tortured, forced,
Kaitan di
coerced.
jamara hamano rolo nyindi ko iman liba imam force
We willingly give our statements,
ko ngana kuma ko di namfangola dunyo kang.
and then we hereby looking for, sympathy from the president.
Dalilo kam bim fele jambe daniro kela president bulupuru yamfola.
That statement you made that you were not forced or coerced to give a confessional statement on TV, was that true?
Yo memfonya ka foko imantel force iman lipa andung imang fem dun toluda wo kuma kan me ya fo television to wonya wodum to nyale motiba.
That's not true.
Why did you then say it on TV that you were not forced or coerced to confess to your involvement in the coup?
Muna dungal nata fo television to ko mali force imam kuma dungali da pour ka fo television to ko andu mali pa fananka fo television to ko menketa bitun hanfo nyin kamala nata kumo kum fa wala nyama mune yo sa.
It was in two reasons.
Dalila fulala beje.
One is to believe that this can encourage the president to pardon us.
Killing wala nyindi ko wala jikita nyinna ko ninga info hamodu na president wala pura yamfanye.
And then it's next to save yourself again from harassment, because
puru finansi fan imari finansi fan tanka puru de dola.
Because if what they already president is brief already before we put on the TV.
Janning ide mari be findi na television warra president ya kachenda ko nyina fo.
They have done X, Y, and Z.
Ko nying beki ye ko nying beki la nyana kamenke.
It don't to be otherwise, then you also have your own time with them later.
Ita da ramari nyina ra ko nyim fali nya do nyama ore ifana be fanjira do karado fanadol.
You're telling us that you gave that statement under duress.
Under duress
and fear.
Mr. Chairman, his statement is also part of the individuals that made the confession on Exhibit 70, which was tendered yesterday. Can you tell us what happened after you made this statement on TV?
Yeah, then they were all happy, and then I saw you that it will be okay for you. Yeah, we have driven back to Mile 2 again. The same security wing.
Was it okay for you after that?
It was never okay with me.
Can you tell us what subsequently happened to you?
We were kept in the cells till then the torture session continue now.
Budero ni nata na tenteng.
It was around the 23rd, something like that, the following day.
Fo abekela karo tilimo ngani sabal di bang osamo.
I remember around the same time again.
Akilo ba kang wati kilo ngala kotanke.
They came to my cell again.
Inara na selo do na dingira mbe murarin damen.
When you say same time, that will be around 11 to
12, yeah, exactly. Yes.
p.m.
Malam because awati kilo ngala 11 talantan nin kilin kata talantan nin fulo kan.
Then led by the same O2 Koli.
And the O2 Koli killing ole be nyato.
And then SPO Jamme.
And then SPO Jamme.
And they opened the door. Then the same procedure follow, handcuffed.
Sila kilingo nying o sila kilingo nyama fana yola ta kang bulol kin.
Taking me to the reception.
Kan samba ni kalunda ngol jiya damen to.
Now put in another vehicle again to be taken to NIA.
Yembulande morodo kono kotanke kamuru di NIA.
Then we went to the NIA when we arrived at the NIA.
Furarin kola NIA.
Same thing again with the reception.
Ku kilingo nyama folota ila reception ni kamul jiya damen to foloke.
I think that was David, me and Bunja. I think we left together on that day.
David and Bunja and
Then when we arrived there,
Sorry, can you take me back a little bit? You said you, Bunja, and who else?
I think me and Bunja, it was on the same day we were taken. That was the second day, I think, instead of the torture, yes.
Thank you.
Then when we have the reception, it was Bunja's turn first.
Bunja followed la wato sida.
Same flower garden behind there.
O garden oldo koma je flower be damendo.
I was sitting in the reception.
Ndebe sirin nung dundangol la jiya dulado.
Then Bunja, I can hear Bunja screaming.
Bunja mo ya nga Bunja wuri kaw mo.
Yelling.
Abe sarila.
Trying to beg for mercy.
Aba katakan puruka de maro kaning puru de maro.
To convince them that he was not part of this school.
Aba katakan purke sondino nyinna ko atadata kudera nyinto bayri ngonyinto.
Yeah, waiting for my turn.
Saying at a fan besiring about water batunka.
Waiting for my turn.
Besiring about tabatunka.
So after then Bunja, for 1 hour to 2 hours.
Ako Bunja taraje Montoro water killing kara for Montoro water fla.
Then he left, then took me somewhere else.
Yeah, the fan somebody dinkirado.
Then they asked me to follow them also.
Ikayako I buleno majifana.
And I followed them to the same place.
At the fanambulate no dinkira kilimoto.
So when I reached,
bring a further.
They asked me to kneel down again.
Ako ikay nyoy akumbalingola.
With my cuff still or in cuff still.
And abulol be cheniring.
And Musa Jame was standing ahead of me.
Musa Jame veloring a nyatilingola.
And questioned me again.
Ba nyininka kan kotanke.
No Dabo Kunda.
Kakay Dabo Kundanko.
Jame Kunda.
Jame fananka Jame Kunda.
And he said, please, I don't want you to suffer.
Akonyeko dukare malafi bata.
I know you very well. I know you very well.
Akonyenge lombakele.
So try to just cooperate.
Konyeko akata don ye ini mole nyomoy.
Then I said, I told him I'm not part of this coup.
At the
same time, I gave you all you wanted yesterday. No, we are not asking for that today. You know you are part of it. You want the people now, your sponsors, to know your sponsors. Your weapons hidden. You know who are your collaborators. Nationally, internationally. I said no idea. Then by the time I was talking to Musa, kneeling down, concentrating on Musa, I just heard the knock on my left eye, whether it's still gone, but whatever, I don't even know. And I fell immediately on my stomach. And I told him, you've broken my eye. And Musa rose up. Hey, wait. He said, please, Darboe, sit down. So I sat down. This eye closed. Then it started bleeding all over. Then tell me, please, tell me what we want so that you can free from the other one. Said Musa, I've told you all I can do, and there's nothing more I can tell you. Now they suggest names to you. They are suggesting names to me. Yes, they are part of it. I said no connection with them. I don't know. Then this Korea was standing also just directly opposite. with nylon bags, plastic bags. And he, I hear him more and can put the plastic bag over my head. He was asking whether to put plastic bags on my head. The Musa said, you don't need it, don't see his eyes bleeding. And that was how I was looking at the better part of torture of plastic bag. So these beatings will continue almost 1 hour, and then with breaks of questions.
This time around, what were they using to beat you with?
Yeah, this time as the first one, like wire coils, sticks. They'll pour water on you. And there is a plastic will melt plastic back on you. Still have those marks here. Cigarettes were lit on your body.
Take us through the process. Can you tell us in what position your body was in when they were beating you?
It was just extra pain, you know. I couldn't even feel the beating after all, definitely.
How were you positioned?
You know, this beating you have to decide. Because they'll just start beating left, right, center. So you want to protect yourself. Normally we tell each other, just go and be on your belly. Let them take anybody want to take from your back. The face, the stomach, the man with our sensitive areas. So protect them. That's not what you do. When they are pushed, you make sure you just be on your belly.
You mentioned that they will lighten plastic on your body. Can you tell us how that was done?
Yeah, after that, like it's in stages. After that initial beating, now they just stay what they call the burial party. Where you have these coconut palms or trees will be used, palms will be used. They will trim it. Then 3 of them or 4. Then you lie down flat. Then they will beat you with that till it can't use to beat you again, broken down completely. They cannot be used to beat you anymore. Now they tell us move to the charity house. And that place, from that place, charity house, also you have to roll. Yeah, that's why rolling this. Korea will take this plus Rambo. Jaju will take these wire coils. Stand over you. And beating you as you are rolling till the faster you reach that place. Yeah, the faster you reach there, the lesser pain you get. So at that place, they will take cement blocks. Put it on you. Sat on it. They start their smoking, their jam, their cigarette. Whatever you can remember to torture individually, you can do it. So put cigarette on your body. Like mine was done by Korea, that lit a nylon plastic bag on my these labs here. There's nothing you can do.
How were you lying down when they placed the cement block on your body?
Yeah, it was. I was lying down completely all flat on my back.
And where did they place the blocks?
Yes,
They put on your chest and sit down there.
How many of them sat on your chest?
Only one person.
More killing.
Who was that person?
Jaju. And now some people are smoking around you, insults, whatever they want to tell you.
And you mentioned that it's there that they lit the plastic bag and allowed the liquid to drip on your body.
On my body, yes. I still have the marks here.
And it's also at that point that they were putting the cigarette butt on your body.
Yeah, on your body. Yeah, on your stomach, whatever they can put.
How many of them participated in doing this to you?
Yeah, they're between 6 and 8. So sometimes just out of blue, somebody just come and then join. It's normally around 4 or 5 sessions are conducted. You are going to be screaming here. You have somebody screaming somewhere. Maybe you have somebody hated most. You had is taken to a place. You just live where you are tortured. There was no exit number.
So at the time you were being tortured, others were also being tortured around you.
Yes, you can hear different screams, 3 or 4, everybody screaming all around.
And it was quite obvious to everyone that somebody was being tortured.
Obvious.
Can you tell us who the NIA director was at that time?
It used to be Daba Maran, but Daba Maran left, I don't know who took over, because immediately we were with the same problem with Daba.
Daba Maran, but Daba Fana problem, Kolea Kodo, Malan Jumalata, Nindaba Betar, Kolea killing.
Do you know who was second in command then?
No.
Honey.
Apart from the junglers who participated in your torture, do you know if any of the NIA operatives also participated in the tortures that were happening around?
Fo isibu akala mabang NIA lu kulalu fanalu fo fanalu dabe wo tajire yatole e kamenke molu la je wo sansa onkono.
No, I don't know.
And how long will that torture session last?
Wo tajire ya wo liparo ila miraro ka wati jelleta.
Yeah, it was almost 2 hours at most.
Wato do asita for montro wati fula.
The first torture happened on the 21st.
Yes.
That was only beating that was involved.
Yes.
The second torture was on the 23rd. That was beating, waterboarding, lighting liquid plastic bag in your body, and also leaving cigarette butts on your body. How about another occasion when you were tortured at the NIA?
Yes, it was in April.
April karo konolem.
One day also, they picked me.
Yenta.
And there's normal protocols as usual.
Come delta ka keni nyame silo nyame ne kamenta.
me to NIA.
Yin samba NIA la cordato.
But this time there was this big dark room.
Nyin tembe nyin sila do mo bumba bum dibiring dolam.
Yeah, we just came at the gate.
Nata bundato.
At the door, sorry.
Bundato.
He just push you inside.
Ike nyori la bungo nyin dato rang.
You just hear beating left, right, center. You don't know.
Ye du nyori o bungo nyin kono drong isa li budero so je iba budero kane kam bulba mara.
Any type of thing, you just had the beating, beat by left, right, so you're gonna come out.
Libaro budero si va be anu ike muna fan nim fengo si joran si va be la bulba mara.
I had definitely know there was no choice for me to get out of this place.
Yedo nara longo ye jande fereta nye pour nga findi kanano nyin lingirato.
Then I pretended I was motionless.
Yedo nara na fang itandi ko comme mantam fambul ncirudale.
That was time they stopped.
Wato la mi bulolo.
Then they took me outside.
Yem findi ndi banta.
Then they start questioning again.
Ida ya nara na damu da ko ka nyininka.
The problem is for them to make sure I give names who were part of this group.
Ko kole yare ngom mendi wala mindi ko to left la prundinga toldi me alon ko to left wala ka fo yow moy ka fo nyille daba ko nyin kono.
Yeah, and then some of these pictures also I was made to understand I sent to Yaya Jammeh directly.
And njig ngay nyim natalo dol fawol be jan ngay kalamura ko kay ki Yaya Jammeh ne.
What pictures are you referring to that were sent to Yaya Jammeh?
The torture sessions.
Wala butere wato nying wato mena butero be kering ay ka natalle.
Are you saying that during the torture sessions, some were taking pictures of you being tortured?
Iko elafta fala ko wo butero be ke kan tumo men do katara jele men be natali rola.
Yes, tortures and even videos. Pictures and videos, sorry.
Natalo nim video fano katale butero wi nyin kono.
I came to know about this by one Korea, Sang Korea.
Ngai long mo kilim bul ngai londo soto mo kilim de gafme Sang Korea.
He came to mile 2.
Anata kasi bumbaro.
Written by Yaya Jammeh himself.
Anu Yaya Jammeh fawla defana nati je.
He was among the good books in this jungle as before.
Anda defana mu molde me alan ko ananta da Yaya Jammeh la mo kendol ko men mu nyin jongulalde.
He was explaining one day when they were at the Marina gate.
Ako nana ba fo kanye lungu dol nana wato be Marina bundaro.
And these pictures were sent and videos were been played in Yaya Jammeh's when he was roasting goat or with them or grilling with them.
Ako wotumo ibe basu bujanola Yaya Jammeh famo be sirin bitu wotumo lo ibe nyin natalo ni video lu itandikam.
So some of the pictures or the video will see it and then take one and then put in the mouth and bam, then he start laughing. This bastard, very good. We celebrating with them. They are. I'm very happy with this. Very good.
Akondu ubeke kantu moment wakata lebe basu bunyimo la si basu bota ya duri da kono iba nyimi kaye kaka si mari neng ka foko nyine bete ata marito.
So that by to I said we were looking at this. Yes, we were watching some of your videos, some of your pictures. You're shouting, your wounds, the way we are suffering. We are seeing some of these pictures we are sent to him, and then we enjoy it. He enjoy it.
Ako yenye mfuko atonya la ngao video ni wanatalo lujele ndu nka jubele wotembo atakake kuti menka molu sewo je wotumo.
You're telling the commission that your torture sessions were recorded.
Amunde benyi mfuka commission enko ibali tajire ya kantu momena ikawulu be record le kata video to
sent to the former president Yaya Jammeh.
Ki President Kotoya utuma be President Yaya Jammeh.
Yes.
Who will celebrate and laugh at the fact that you were being tortured.
Menka wo kidimandi ka jele kala sewo itande ko ibatel tajire ya kanne.
Yes.
How did you feel when you got this information?
Yata nyadi le bire nyin kibaro foye.
I felt we were doomed as a country.
Ngai njiki ko keta mu bankule me alon ko tunetale.
If a whole head of state cannot be celebrating his sovereign.
Ni banku nyaton ko fon kasi akasewo ala banku dingulu la masibola.
Then we are all finished.
Woto mbandale tinyaro ketale ntutale.
You've told us about the torture method on you in April when you were pushed into a dark room. And several people were beating you and you could not escape from that room till you had to pretend to collapse. That was when they left you.
Ko April karokono liparoke o kola inate samba bunkono mo jamabe o bungen kono hanfo ye idundi je barwolun inate fankele ko mo men ketuta mo me yalonko amantara afango sawo
Who were the individuals that were beating you? That is, if you know.
These 3 guys I mentioned, as I told you, my knowledge about junglers are very few. Yeah, these are the Jaju, Rambo, Sanamanjang, and Korea. I know these 3. But they are around 60, 6 or more. Most of them they are in their this mass, so I never work with them. But these 3 I knew them before even I personally transferred them to state guard when I was an adjutant. Including Malik. Malik Jata.
Can you tell us the kind of injuries you suffered from this torture session you went through?
Yeah, my whole body was just in shit. I have marks all over my back. My worst was my eye. Yeah, up till now, this cannot go more than 25 minutes. Left eye. Left eye. So I had a lot of, medication on that one, definitely. And then there's nothing you can do about it as of now. I have to enjoy it that way. And then the plastic masks are also still in me. The melting plastic masks are still in my body. Yeah, but some of these other slices have gone now because of time.
After this torture session in April, were you tortured again?
Yes, I had one more final one in May. That was, I don't remember the exact date. But this was another worst session for me. Just this medical government, I don't know, this long bag that you put granite in, a long one.
The 100-kilo bag?
No, longer than that. Tamboto. You can help us in Manika account.
Tamboto.
Yes. It's this long one they put in granite in Tamboto. It's longer than this 100 bag, 100 kilo.
Okay, that's the 120 kilo.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that was the day they will put it into that also. I did.
Yeah, city.
Then they put a winch. They winch me.
Yeah,
then the same thing now, then I started to everything, if you just come and beat. Then this controller will deliberately lose it to come down, you are just on your back. Floor on the floor, then all you can hear is a laughter over it.
Ni lipa foi pareta yellon ko boto nyimbala ye jolon nang
ka free le agara julo bola they lose it, then you come
and fall
without a control, then you just bang on the floor, then all you can hear is a laughter.
Amunta bitu neo julo firang ye boy nan duma ni boyta itelesi ye jele.
Some people say it's good landing and all those rubbish they used to say.
Lolo safu ko ala boynya nyimmalom bitu kuma kalantangolo si continue ka wol
has really give me a back problem then in Juru mile 2.
Akondu wonata kodi mi ngodi ala wato me abe mile 2.
But thank God is improving very well.
Akobari ala tentu abe fisia kanne kende kede.
After this beating in May, were you ever tortured again?
No.
Can you tell us about the tortures meted out on your fellow detainees?
I remember Permanent I thought it was the worst at first. Everybody thought his was the worst.
Kadunga mira permendita wasangala tabake kadumbe mira ko atilela liparo jawyata ntulbetati.
The winching and talking about started with him.
Katu kamodeng lem kola ka wine seleka selendi sando ya follow atelela.
Then he was electrocuted around.
Inata mas kurangola.
And still up till now, because very close to me, you can show me these areas.
Don't go into much details, please. Just state the conditions without going into much details.
Anima abe sata fa akita bulunya mendrong iti danko ya fodre mine kala.
Yeah, because I could remember even walking was a problem. We have to combinedly be helping him. Anybody who has the 5 minutes chance in that time, you go there, help him to take bath or try to massage him.
Ako hakilo ya mtako itelle fongoluka amako tumodo luna bite kula itelle ka amako ya iteku tumodo itelle fongoluka balo nyabu.
There was this boy called Alfuseni Jamme.
Ako mobije ka fome Alfuseni Jamme.
He was detained by Yaya Jamme for 7 years.
Ya Jamme le yo fanan sindije sanji worawula.
They are going to court.
Abita amanta kitola.
He was working with the prison guards.
Atening prison kasola kantala le fongbe do kola.
He has some privilege to stay out for a certain time.
Silo diatela ka akatara banta hani fo wato dolu.
It was very helpful, definitely.
Akata moliti men kata makoirla batije.
He was going around buying this balm and other sherbet and other things for us.
Atele kata kamurum ka ventilator sang aninse tulo kaonati tuliye.
Smuggled some hot water inside for us.
Asi jikando fana numto nati tulo fana liye konoto je.
Then he picks cells who are suffering more than to help them, massage them to have some relief.
Ando aka selo lu nyala tombonne menu batata baba bake be selo lu menu kono asa kata ay dungo mario lu kan kate balo nyabu ke makoy.
Farin Sayan, the same thing.
Ko Farin Sayan fanango nyakili nyale.
Almost soaked in the head was almost soaked in blood.
Akumo be fango sinanta yelola.
You can see clearly he was bleeding all over the body.
Fango kajele ko yelobe bokan balodula beto.
Wasa Kamara head was swollen because he was, as he said, he was just being taken and knocked against the wall like a ram.
Akoyeka wasap Kamara kajele akumo fango funutale katu molu sotonta mene ya muda ka akumo fadi bumbalola ko eka sajolu kumo ka nyota kinyamin wala na akumo funuta.
Bunja Darboe broken hand completely.
Bunja Darboe yo bulo katile fereng.
This guy Ibulo, the same thing, simple fracture and a fracture on the same leg.
Ibulo, yo singo kati wokola asingo nata bofana choko bota.
So before even he was taken away, then he couldn't even walk.
Akoja ni ba bondila je ka samba bukani tamano fango.
Staff Sergeant Corps was not seeing at all.
Staff Sergeant Corps amunta wala jero mutatela bukani je no fere.
We are completely closed.
Anyalu be mu me obitita.
So a lot.
All these tortures, as far as you can recall, where were they conducted?
All these things were done at NIA premises. Except for Bunja's broken hand. I don't know exactly, but I saw him with a broken hand fluent day.
Malo akatada mengude fereng baribitu asomo lo ngabulu katiringoji.
Do you know if the NIA protested or did anything to stop these tortures that were happening within their premises?
For isibu akala mako.
Foi sa fono kom NIA kabrin be ngin kol ke kanyu molla e balantale walla e manyal ki katandila ko mo nyana ngin ko sifala la wom alkan.
No, I have never heard about that.
Were you at any point charged with any offense?
Silanga atolu in ite inane ye 2 million kom ye lualetinya.
Yes, we are charged with 4 counts, they say.
Ye ntumi amunta tumir nani lela.
Tell us about the charges that were made against you.
When
were you charged after you were arrested?
What charge what Jumali Kabring ye muta mutaring kola?
I won't remember that now. I remember we went to the High Court. Was in Banjul.
High Court, Banjul.
Then, I don't know, it was around, I don't remember exactly, but we were asked to, the court was, I cannot go through, we are discharged, and then we went to a court martial again the following year.
Baring hakilo ba kanko kiti bunda wenna kito nyimbaile ye mbula barbitu sanaka natan samba sojar kiti bunda la court martial.
Were you charged prior to being tortured the third or fourth time?
Yali charge le janding ba lipala sabanjang wala nani njang. Lipar sabanjang wala lipala nani njang.
This is all after the torture thing. We spent close to 90 days before we went to court.
Imbe tajire ya nyim kola lo liparolu kola lo nyendi kar ngamera ning hakilo mambo na anya tatal han fotil tanko non to nyong janning mbita kitola.
You said the matter was transferred to the court martial.
Konata na nyin kito nyin samba court martial so jarol la kito bla.
Were you represented during your court case?
Silang lawyer sotole millote wato mini be kiti ndika.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your trial?
Silang ila kito ko fonyema tata nyame.
The court martial?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we are to go to court martial.
Samba sojar kito la court martial.
Court started.
Ito damudata.
But we are all saying that we are coerced, forced to make those statements.
Rembe na foko yem forcé le kumakango dunda pour ka kumakango londi menkata statement olti.
And therefore our lawyers went in for voir dire.
Ito na lawyer be nyina batukan kiti be kiti kono.
And that started.
And nata dati.
That's where I have my witnesses that came there.
Na sedo lu soto menu nata je.
Including a doctor who even attended to me, a Nigerian TA.
And Dr. Fofana bije me alonko Nigeria no la jara lalo moti.
With the eye clinic.
And kata hanfo nya jara bunda nyim fangola.
I think that sparked an alarm within the system.
Ngamera wonata ke fanali silandir bundati ila kulu kono.
When guide led a team.
Between guide la kafo ayenyaton kaya.
Omar Koli, Omar Koli then, O1 Koli.
Kafa Omar Koli,
Move from hospital to hospital.
Akata makabolo bitani katalo bitani.
Into clinic.
Kata ila jaral blalto.
And then tell that anybody who has a single document sent to this court martial or anybody who appeared.
Kafo yenko mowomondi ye kaiti fintindi kakinyi sojar kitoto wala mowomondi nata finti kataje sede yarola.
My friend, it's better you leave the country or you are finished.
Membe bete alete mari fede yebanko bula wala itabanta.
And this result told nobody wanted to come and witness anymore.
Nyina ya sabu hanfo silang sede manna soto mensina muruna kana sede yarola je.
Are you telling the commission that Omar Koli led a team of soldiers to intimidate possible witnesses for your voir dire?
Yes.
Akamata ko ite mi fakan commission ya wolon Omar Koli ate nyin ka fo nyin nyaton kaya kata mo normal putano to ke silandi pour mo kana na CDRO di ñu voir dire ko woto.
Yes.
How did you know about that, given that you were in prison at that time?
Nyaji be wato ite be kasol to mal tu wato.
During the trial I went to RVT.
Kito kono ndata banyun loptani bato.
A friend of mine, Sirif No Trawale.
Nteri biye ka fo me Sirif Ndim Trawale.
Was working with the eye clinic.
Abe jara rola nya jara bundala no wotumo.
We did childhood together, we are so close.
Nga dindi yake nyokanne andun katata nyola no wotumo.
And I started blaming him, why didn't he come to be a second witness to the Nigerian TA, who is a foreigner?
Nga muta puruka adoya ka fai munana imanna sede yaro la Nigeria no memu luntangoti unata finti dame.
He told me that Jagad came here with a lot of other soldiers, NIAs.
Ayim fanyan ko Jagad ni sojar jamana ta jang aning NIA.
That anybody who produces a single document for this court martial
ka foko mo womondi hani kaiti kunto fintindi ni sojar kito kama kake sedoti
much more appearing there as a witness.
Sako ni mari fango kumuna ta je kake sedoti.
Then he better leave this country.
Woto e banko bula.
So the threats are too much that nobody was willing to do it.
Amunta silandirolu sembo warata wole nata molu kijo boy manna son kana sede yaro.
But that TA was giving 36 hours notice or 72. I remember that to leave this country.
Wo Nigeria no men faunata o sede yaro la. Ngamere tili sababu che ole diala pray Gambia banko bula.
And she left.
Andunga tata asaita.
Can you recall the name of the TA?
What TA nying hakilo se bula tola?
I don't remember.
Hakilo mamuta no nyina tale.
Maybe if you list it out, lawyers, they have the file, or in RVT, then 2006, like at iClinic, they can give the name. It's a tough lady, tall guy.
Ni na lawyer lu nyinen katu mandolu kaytolu betarla wolu bulle wala hani banyun loptani ba ila nyajara dinkirato wolu ba tolo na katu mo balabalo mjangama do ko ke nyajara bundato no banyun loptani bato.
And you mentioned that she's female.
Yes, she's a female.
Musolem.
Did she finish her evidence before being given 72 hours to leave the country?
Ala sede yaro aya banne ka di janding be wato di la ko tili janding tili saba anyanta bola nyim banko ka.
Yes, she finished everything.
Yeah, aya be banne.
In fact, she was lucky that she was coming and decided to go direct to the court martial instead of going to Banjul, because I was able to understand that there was an ambush for him to be taken back to not to be allowed to come and witness if he was caught on the way coming. But unfortunately, she came direct to the court martial.
Men ketala manta bengoti amanta Banjul anata sojar kiti bunda lela dorong direct akabwa ala dinkirato kana kiti bundato nata tanum Banjul nata nyim fahamu ko yellanya kayen ne silo kan pour nyanta boyla kan damen ka muta ndu niyo ketanum atinano la sedearo la.
How did you know about the ambush?
It was after people will speak to you what happened, that when this thing it happened, when your witness came, the alarm in the system, and then when, in fact, before her appearance, my lawyer was giving witness that he was going to testify tomorrow.
Ning ko tambita molu ka diamule menu keta molu ka sile kafo yo andunga ko nyim fonkono molu ka ko lu ka chala na loya fon tuma lulu fon ina ta kibaro diela han fon def ina ta foko nyi lunkari mobina sede yaro la janne nyin ko luto.
So during the court martial, you can hear them, regretting why that guy came, and then somebody was sent to go and then get ambushed him, but unfortunately he never went to Banjul on that day. He just came to the court martial directly.
Hani kito nyi wuche kono eketelu fanglu mwele be diam la kela nimiso itandi munan na nyi muso nata sede yaro la je ani fo fanglu day nyi foko kola lum inata lanya prendi akamma Banjulu silo kam men nata ke amari la manta bengoti doron amanta Banjul.
Apart from this particular incident, was there any other peculiar incident that occurred during the trial?
Yes, I remember even Ajim was one of those conspiring with the DPP to put us in that trouble.
Hakilo ya mutako hani Ajim ate famu moleti menin DPP be lari nyokan ka ferocity pour kante lakulu jawyandi kandundi mantoro kono.
There's a section in Armed Forces Regulation
dinkirabi je sojaro la sartolu kono
that said voir dire is not accepted in court martial.
Me nyim foko kiti be kiti kono amanya natarla sojaro la kiti bundala.
When our guys throw in this motion,
bari biri yo kango dundi kolu kono,
and the DPP couldn't counter, he just had to accept.
DPP mambalano asontala ledro.
Ajim telling him that next time go do your homework properly.
Hanufo Ajim kafaye sila kota ngo inyanta ifansu miraro kela duko ke anyam.
Because section X
katu nyindinkira kari section X.
And this regulation doesn't allow voir dire. If you had quoted this, I would have thrown the case out.
Ne wo bukason kiti be kiti kono nyinkuoluto niyo fonu njuna mbakito nyimbaila lenu.
This was already after the trial, within trial was allowed, correct?
Yeah, it was during the addressing of the trial within trial to start.
Motion
from our own defense counsel to start trial within trial.
It was?
motion olam
amunda kanne mume ya lonko na lawyer la ludla pour kiti be kiti kono anyanta kala nyami.
Because of that, you felt that the judge advocate was conspiring against you people as well.
Kamunta ko wole atina ite amera ko nyinjojo nying aning atol be nyokande.
Yes, because that same section was used during the address and in the judgment that was quoted by the same Ajim, and he was being directed. DDP quoted the same section during the address. The same section was used throughout the Voadir.
Amunta teo section killing of fana killing yole tamandi kiti be kiti kono uche onyin kono hanifo hani DPP fanga la kumakangolo kono atamata okisila killing la yo kuma killing le foje.
Who was the counsel representing you during your court martial case?
Jumane mala loyati mimbe nung lori ngatuli watu minal balna court martial keka.
This is Mrs. Wada Sise and Bori Ture.
Mrs. Wada Sise and Bori Ture wole muntola loyalty intela loyalty no.
Did anything happen with respect to your counsels during the case?
Foku ketale alla counsel ko rawato minna be ngin case ngin fenke kan.
Yes, our vehicle was broken into.
I'm sorry, the translation is Yala moto kati.
Her vehicle was broken into. And all these files, these various and other documents, these medical documents were all stolen away.
Anin kitibe kite kono kaitolu yewlube sunya moto kono wolunne.
And that becomes like a threat as a woman.
Andung anatake silanda koti wairate mumusoleti.
He has to invite Bori to join her.
Anata fereke purumos Borisi kafuama.
Yeah.
She continued with the case even after her vehicle was broken into.
Yes,
he continued, but invited Bori to join her.
I continued, but I Bori kumandi puro sikafuama kito nyinkono.
Do you think that that incident was linked to your case?
Yes.
So you feel that it was because of your case that her vehicle was broken into and all the documents were taken away?
So it in nataje ko alla case la kulat na yala moto nyintinya anim fana natangin kaitol be bondi moto kono.
Yes. Because medical evidence are the most important documents, very valid ones in the court, and they have proven that I was tortured seriously by a medical professional doctor in that area.
O kaitol mu kaiti kuma baleti sede yaro la karola usako o lopitan kaitol o jara lan kaitol kato hani doctor o men fa nyajara da doctor o nying hana e kul men safe wol be mu sede bambande ngol leti men yalon ko isi itandi non.
And what happened with the case?
Sila mune natake alla case la.
We are found guilty.
Amunta ko loi yentol mutale.
And they sentenced to life, some of us 25, some 10.
Between ye dolu sorong isi oto, ye dolu sorong sanji muani lulu, ye dolu sorong sanji tang.
After your sentence,
bring your sentence for kapare.
Can you tell us what happened in 2010?
Mune natake 2010 sangola.
2010, that was the so-called appeal cases. They said they were trying to reduce at the courts.
Kita kiti sain kangolti ye menufo ko ilafte talala le kiti bundala.
Let me read from your statement so as to guide you. You mentioned that in 2010, Langton Bongtamba and General Sarjo Fofana were arrested and brought in Mile 2.
Langton Bongtamba and General Sarjo Fofana. You all fana muta ke nati Mile 2?
Yes.
Can you tell us in connection to what exactly they were arrested and brought to Mile 2?
Silang fesa funo muli tol funang itol mo fulo li muneke wala ila mungi muto nata sabo munela foi be nata labam Mile 2.
They said that they had a hand in 2006 Cham coup.
Nyina foko if analdabe 2006 ndur Cham kudeta nyintole membaita.
So but this
My apologies. Let me just ask before. Was Lang Tambong not part of the group of soldiers that were seated while you were made to confess your involvement in the 2006 coup?
Lang Tambong kabring ngi sojarol ngi mutai sindi foi bete ngi kaka ngi kudeta la ko Lang Tambong mantra ma beru ngi.
Yeah, he was at the broadcasting on TV. He was sitting down there, yes, on that day.
Ibe kumolu fintindi ta kantu mena pour que fintindi television to abe siri nje utumo.
And years later, he was arrested and brought in and accused of being involved in the same coup that occurred in 2006, correct?
Well, Sanji dantang kola ina atafana muta ka samana ka tumi ko atafana ndabe nungo kudeta bayri wala foka samba mile 2.
Yes.
Did you have anything to do with his case?
Yes. When they were arrested, they put in mile 2. Now the state needs witnesses. There was no where they can get witnesses. And we were invited, the 2006 March coup plotters.
2006 March karo kono menu yemenu kalami kudeta nyinanu.
That anybody who has anything to put these people connected to this March 21st, then he will go home.
Ko woto menu be bulo be nyin 2006 March karo kudeta nyin kono woto ni emari yakuta mandi nyinto ibe bulala le yesai.
Then we are going to be witnesses against Lantombon Tamba.
Saina tetel ke sedoti Lantombon Tamba kamma.
And we are all invited to NIA.
Yembe kumandi kote ke NIA.
And Emeba.
Ikafome Emeba.
Said he has something. He knew Lantombon Tamba has some roles to play in March 21st.
Kaya long lodula dulu bije Lantombon Tamba nyanta menu tamandela no March karo kudeta bayre nyento.
He spent 2 days with NIA.
And
afterwards he was released to go home. And they promised to major and they put back into the armed forces again.
Yeah, jikindi ka major ti pour ka amrundi sojaria bundala kotake.
And he went to testify against Lantombon.
Bitunga tata sedero ke Lantombon kamma wotumole.
Then myself and Bunja
Darboe,
we were asked to testify against Sarjo.
Yeah, for itel si sedero ke Sarjo kamma.
We refused.
Itelu balanta.
And then they promised us to be free if we do.
Yen jikindi ko ninga ke ibembulalale.
They compensate us.
Andu ibe bolo sailale ke buluma sai.
Back to the army again.
Andu kola ibe murundi la sojaria la kotake.
But we refused.
Bari balanta.
So there was this going to and fro with at the NIA.
Kadu nyintani na bekering ining katawa NIA.
At this point, who were the people asking you to incriminate Sarjo Fofana?
Ni wato kono jumale ba afoka ngali purale ni Sarjo ni tumi.
At the beginning it was Ken Jeng, they call it Ken Jeng, DPP then.
Ko followed like a fine Ken Jeng, utuma tell them DPP.
Is it Chengen?
Jeng or Ken Jeng, I don't know. I cannot pronounce the name, yes.
Chengen.
Okay.
And who else?
Then among them, the former Minister of Justice.
Minister of Justice.
Gomez.
Ikafaya Gomez.
I don't know the first name, but it's Gomez.
The
next guy was Numo.
No, do kotengo ikafaya Numo.
Okay, then the then secretary was used to call.
Sorry, what was Numo's designation then?
I know he was head of the NIA, but I don't know the story name.
Numo atelum ngamira atelum NIA la nyaton kote wotumo.
It was the DG of NIA at that time.
Exactly, yes.
Munda atelum NIA ha olem atelum NIA la nyaton kote.
Then the then Secretary General Njogu Ba was also called.
Wotumo member Secretary General Yala Njogu Ba ya Frank Kumandi.
Lay the relation, the message to the HE then, Yaya Jammeh.
We
refused unless we said unless we are pardoned.
Mbalanta nko nima yamfanya ntakela.
So whether he can accept a pardon or something, we can be witness against Sarjo Fofana.
Wala mnyenti fasi song ay yamfanya okola nsina lo ka CDR ke Sarjo Fofana kama.
At this point, was there any form of evidence even against Sarjo Fofana with respect to his involvement in the 2006 World Coup?
Sila wawato kuna fo CDR bijiri miya lonko tonya wala yatandi ko Sarjo afana ndabula ta 2006 coup d'etat bayri ngola.
Not to my knowledge, definitely.
Ani de mambo akalama tonya.
These individuals that were telling you to testify against Sarjo Fofana.
Yimolu minube fokan atelier ko kali Sarjo fanan tumi saja asefana se bulaka fen ko mantoro kono.
Did you tell them that you don't know anything about his involvement in the coup?
Alia foile ko atol man fen long atengin Sarjo la ngin da bulo la ko deta kono.
Yes, we told him clearly. I said, I have no knowledge about Sarjo's involvement or Lantombon in this March 21st coup. I don't know.
Nyina ko indi mako mam fem long Sarjo Fofana la koto wala Lantombon Tamba la koto katara nying March karo coup d'etat bayri ngoto.
So even after telling them that you knew nothing about his involvement, they still wanted you to incriminate him in the coup, correct?
Yes.
Hani nya alia senendi mako atol man fen long atela da bulo coup d'etat kono bare halbi hani fo bibe lorin pour Sarjo ko ali nyin tumi rek.
Yes.
Did you agree to do so eventually?
Sila natna sonne ila
We never agreed.
Ani intel nena man song wala.
I remember even the then Minister of Justice invited me to her ministry twice.
Utembo fa member minister ala kitol ninting la karola. Sinya fula kan command ala minister bundala.
Were you at Mile 2 then?
Yes, I have two lunches there. Mile 2. I will go there for lunch, sit down there, had my drinks, talk good, give me some money to buy my cigarettes so that I can be convinced to join the wagon.
Utumombe Mile 2 bari kan command jele nkataje nsisije nsikontongo keje si kartol ni mimfengolo dinna si kodo fon fanandina nyimbe pour kantelu sondi dorong itel laftamen.
You were a prisoner at that time in Mile 2?
Yes.
What we tell prisoner little Mile 2.
Ade.
I'll just go to reception, change my clothes to civilian clothes.
Katale reception otoje ngana fengol du
escort.
Ngana civilian fengol du ene ay ñol yendanda.
To the office of the Minister of Justice?
Kata
Yes.
office of Minister of Justice la office oto.
Ade.
To discuss about incriminating a military officer?
Alka kacha pour ka jeko ka ñim momi yalon ko sojarolom adu officer lom ka isaje ka
In a coup plot?
Yes.
Data bayron.
Were you the only one that was given this privilege of wearing civilian clothes and going over to the Minister of Justice to have a chat about incriminating an officer?
So for ite damal ñim buña di ite damal la pour ka ñi civilian fengo dite la ya dung ene dan fo minister accorda kono ka jeko yeng ñi motu mi alon ka dama bula coup d'etat ko.
No, I was with Bunja.
Hani nimbunja le no ngotumo.
I thank you, Bunja Darboe.
Ngotumo nenga tela Bunja Darboe.
And can you tell us what eventually happened?
Tilan fo sa fo no muli mun natan la bang soto.
Yeah, when there was no agreement between you and them.
Bitin kambe man soto to little tema.
One day I was just at Mile 2.
Lunkiling mbe Mile 2.
Before you move forward, you mentioned that the minister's last name was Gomez.
Gomez, yes. Very in complexion guy. It was the first name.
Akontong Gomez ha mo koyolem.
Then he was the Minister of Justice. Then just with that name, Gomez.
Minister of Justice today, Gomez.
Will it be Edu Gomez?
Edu Gomez.
Asekeno Edu Gomez.
Edu Gomez.
During that meeting with the Minister of Justice,
Silang kabringal be umitino ke kang nim di Minister of Justice.
Were there any other individuals present?
Mo koten dol be sirinjel bam minu be ma be ringal law mitino.
2 boys from NIA as escorts were present.
Mofula meno kandandang meno bota NIA wolo be sirin inyala.
Can you recall their names?
Ise tofono.
No, I don't know them.
Ani melong.
Who else?
Aninjuma.
Bunja Darboe.
Bunja Darboe.
And the minister himself, those are the only guys in that.
Ni minister fango ni molda manem.
So no, you have his seat here, then you have just a table, round table, just next to the seat. Then you leave that place and come and join us on that bigger table in his office.
Amunda sirando be karatanta wala ka sida me batutu modo e ka wuli o sirango kanne yana si anyatilin to la tabulo be tilindi ndamenna. You sit there chatting, have lunch together, and then there was time even called the Secretary General in my own presence there. Nka si jelen na ka cha kontongo fananka ki jele tumodolo aka Secretary General fongo commanding nyala je.
How many times did you make such trips to the office of the Minister of Justice?
Say ilo taji kata Minister of Justice so nata ke si nya jelle.
I went there twice.
Si nya fula.
Then I went to the NIA final one.
Na labang nyen tata NIA.
Where I met Numo also and his gang.
Na Numo fanana la kafo mulu tarajele.
Among them, I recognize Pahari Jame was there. There's heads of departments, I don't know them. Bora Koli was there on that day. I remember he gave me 2 packs of benzene on that day. I remember. He always was there to give me the motivation, the encouragement, and then the values on the agreement with the attached to the agreement with the government of the day then.
Nyimbe mu ferolti dron pour kan sondi iteli lefta komen na pour inteli nyanta komen kela kanyim mari dundi nyimbe mu ferolti pour kan inteli sondi wala.
And finally I told them now, what if you want me to allow me also to go home, as anybody was left to go home without even going to testify yet, but you want me to testify while I'm in the prison and they promise all these mountains. You know? Bari mbe kasola nyin kumolu men bebe fokante nyin kolu men bebe kekante sede yaro kan par silante be kaso kono hanimbi. They say those don't have that confidence to lose me, go and because I may escape in their hands, and they lead to their problem too.
Ko ha bakatu e manyin lanno soto pour ka katu nintel nata boje hanfon nata kanam borta bitum telefonal bedun naman toro kono le.
That was the final stage.
Bitum kolu danta woleto.
And did you eventually testify against Sarjo Fofana?
Yes. One day I was in mile 2.
You mentioned that you testified against Sarjo Fofana.
I testified in the case, not against, but in the case.
Mang Sarjo Tumide, but in Nata Sedearo Kito Ninkono, Amanke Konga Sarjo Le Tumi.
Was the testimony true?
Sila wasedi aroninya atonyalom.
Yeah, it was.
Tonya.
Did your testimony in any way incriminate Sarjo Fofana?
Sila lo wasedi aroyimindi. Anatana Sarjo Kamarat Sarjo Fofana nya tuminyado nya.
No.
Hani?
But he was more free this time.
And nyin silo fang ala fansoto.
You're telling us that you did testify, but you did not say what they wanted you to say.
Exactly, I went all against what they wanted me to say.
Yes, until left and memfo.
We had to leak out the conditions they put on the table for me to put Sarjo Fofana in trouble. So that gave more weight to Sarjo Fofana, and then he went on appeal, he was discharged.
Wala fonata Sarjo Fofana sembentu ya bring ay kiti sainka oke ina tabula.
This boy was motivated and then giving big promises to lie against this guy, and he said it openly in the court.
Betunga munta ya menno ham sembentu ya pour ye faniafo pour ka molu dundi wo bena take kuti men wanyarta woto.
Then he was released.
Utumole ina tabula.
I was made to be a hostile witness. When there was no other way, they say he has to satisfy, put away hostile witness, and then he may give something that is valuable to the court. And unfortunately, we are on the wrong hand, on the wrong side.
Amonte laftante kala sede jawolti num pour nga fem fo kiti bundala bari bitun sila nga na atake filoti te la karola.
I was made a hostile witness.
Ya atake sede jawolti num.
That is a hostile witness against the state.
Exactly.
Amonta wala ma ketabban ko fo la sede jawolta lota e bang tewnyafo.
Was there?
I remember Bunja even refused to enter the box. He said he's not going to enter the box.
Bunja o fongo balanta la kate dunna ila box o kono wala mila kiti
He
kuna.
never entered that box.
Anena mandu o kiti kuna o fongo.
Did you face any repercussions as a result of what you did?
Silete man na kolya ko ni soto kabrali nyin ko nyin keteng. Kiti
They thought it was a consequence for me, but that was a better consequence for me.
They moved
you from the security wing to the main yard. Though I lose the independence there,
but
at least had access to the TV, the news.
Yeah,
that was better for me. And I was toilet inside. You can take bath anytime. You can go to the toilet anytime. Unlike the confinement.
Nibe oto esitano yeku wati wala yeta bantaloto wati wala fisiata yetara maburi ndula kilimuto non confinement mbelundamento.
Can you tell us how you were eventually released from prison?
Silam foi safuno muli natana nya labankal bula kaso bundato nyadile.
Yeah, it was 2015 in July.
Akata 2015 samala kono July karo kono.
On the 21st or 22nd July, yes.
July karo tilmu anim fulo.
When they were doing their normal celebration of July 22nd victory or coup d'etat.
Bribe July karo tilmu anim fulo coup d'etat juraro kekang.
I was not directly listening because then any program to the I don't even listen to it. I never listened to it.
Mbukalla moyenu mfango utumo katu program ya jamela kuobe menkono ntelubuka halafi fanka omoy wala kajube.
We are playing cards or somewhere.
Ntelube mariaso wolem cards le play kandulato.
And we heard a loud noise, everybody screaming the entire time running towards us.
Ngama kamba moy mulube wuri kan be buri kan kanan tolukan.
And they came close to me, some of them started jumping on me.
Birina taifura tamma dolu boyta sawna foy ka sapin kan.
Kebama, you are going home. Kebama, you are freed. Just been announced.
Ka fanyeng kebama vesailale kebama yali bulale. That means kebama means somebody elder.
It was unbelievable, definitely.
Akatanye kuti follow to malla kwal.
Immediately we disband the mariage we are playing, or the cards we are playing.
Onoto lenga na mariage kato nying njanjanta ngabula.
So let's go and follow up the local languages, translation.
Nko oto alingata lamoy kibaro la neba fulan na banko kanguluto.
But with curiosity, people come and explain to you the statement exactly used.
Bari bitun kumpo kama molol fonglu kana ka satanye ye kumakangulu menufo.
That all those who are accused of treason or coup d'etats or even had a problem with them directly, from that day to a particular date was mentioned, you are released.
Kafoko menube soron jamfa jawo kan aning menya lonko ye mutake tumike we sindije aningo molumen bebo mutokono karola je ya foko kabunyi lunkari ye menu mutafoko tabula nyi lunkari yolu bebula le sai.
So you were pardoned by the president.
Kamunda ko president fangole yam fatali.
Exactly.
Yeah.
During your incarceration and your detention at Maltu, were you allowed any family visitors?
That was a privilege.
Because
though it's in the books, but something minor or David Colley just got one day say no visit.
David Colley will
or they'll do their searching, some things found in some particular cell somewhere, then they say no visit.
Isi wuli nita ata minimino la kadulalu visite nita ata fenje dulato asafo kumpa borlati na jang.
Or their own guards will misbehave at the entrance with the visitors. They say use of that no visit.
Wala ifangol la kantar lalu is ika kumpa borla lu batandi bunda to je han fo nini ol bulata nyola isi kamfa ya fo motina jang kumpa boro.
Sometimes it say 90 days, every 90 days, 30 minutes. Sometimes it's every 6 months, 30 days. So there was no regulation. Just do what you want to do as the boss.
Ku lorinte kerinu memu nyaton koti men kadi yate akawla fo asafatu modolu tiltansa ba minute tansa ba kumpa boro wala ay wati do fo amunda men diata te dro akawla ta mandije.
We've already heard sufficient testimony about the food that was served to inmates at Maltu.
Se diaro soto janni kinul mi along domoro mi along ko amang nyinya mi along ko ka di mol mi along ko be muto no Maltu.
Can you just confirm that the food that was served to you was not up even for human consumption?
So fanan toñandi janne ka jukka tandi ko ngi kinoy kal kamindi alla ji manke kinit mi alon ko betiata pour hanama de mo fonsa dum.
Definitely food was too bad.
Tonya odumoro bambete ya freng.
Throughout your stay in Maltu, were you ever given any beddings or mosquito nets?
Netela taro be Maltu inene la rango dialal ma.
Yes, after about 1 week, then they brought those things for us, bedding, mosquito net.
No kungilin ko la yol natile. Membe ko la mbella la menu kan ani sunkar ani sankewolu yol natile.
Can you tell us briefly about the impact of your detention on you and your family?
Ite nyimuto minkete bla munesa bi mai te fango kun aning ila dimbaya.
It has an everlasting impact on me.
Because
my best friend, I told you that I lost him during this. After barely 4 months, he also passed away. And then we are only 2 children of my mother, and then the other one also, my eldest brother and the only brother also, I lost in Mile 2. I said we are only 2 children. My mom. For my mom. Yeah, the other one also, the eldest, that's my elder brother also was gone during my castration. It was too boring for my mom, was going around trying to fend for those kids. Those 2 kids my elder brother left around.
Amunta ketamba mai kole abati pour kata minim ka murum pour ka dindim fulolu balundi nkoto e menno tuje.
But who anybody knew my mom then thought she was mad.
Dolu fon lu men yemba ma long ya mira fo asondo modun tanyotole.
The only child you have, one is gone, one is in Mile 2.
Dingulu men ron soto do banta do be kasola Mile 2.
And she has to struggle like a 18-year-old again after around then 90 years. Almost 80, 90 years then.
Moment siobe sanji tansa kata sanji tankonon to foye wule puruka minimenen ka kata puruka odindingulu balundi.
Went back to gardening, you know.
Amuruta na kodola.
It's too much. It was too tough, definitely.
Aketa kole abati awotumo.
And then my wife also had to go after 7 years of waiting.
Namuso fanan saita biringa meta siring.
So a lot of breakdown, a lot of.
I
think basically it's just an everything I cannot forget in my life, definitely. Even the properties you have, people who go after them, well, like vultures, I don't know. That's scavenging,
It's
too much. You cannot add all, but let's thank God that we are back. That's all.
Kindly tell us how you were reinstated back into the army.
Yeah, we are in Senegal and in exile. And when the present government, present head of state won the election, he was sworn in Senegal.
ya kalindi Senegal de.
So we organized a party we had a refugee association called GRAS, Gambia Refugee Association in Senegal.
Nga Gambia dingulu soto mene alonko tumo iketa moluti menu banko bula be sirinje wo kafo.
We met him, I was the vice president.
Birimbenta wairi ntelo mo kafo la president no lankoti.
We met him and then we greeted him.
Ntata ate president ya na nyokontong.
He invited us to a dinner.
Kata tele nkumandi pour ngata ma be si mangoto nate.
At the dinner table then we met Masane Kinte also.
O simandula to je ni Masane Kinte fana nyoje woleto.
Then CDS.
Memo CDS no dumo.
Then the president asked who were, then Masane explained to him all our roles, we were in the army before.
Bitu tumo lam president nyinin karo ke nyil mujuma nyolleti Masane Kinte ya be faye animbe menna no na lodula mentunu sojari ya la karola.
He invited us. If you are interested in coming to serve your country, when I go back to Gambia, please come back and then we join hands and clean up.
Bitu tumo lam ay nyimbunya sayin ka murundi mfanal kanje ko nin sayta Gambia na lefta alisi murunna nsali murundi sojari ya bundala albenu ndame.
Then I came back here in the February 2nd.
Nsayta na njam February karo telefulo.
And we met him at the Senegal, Atlantic or the Senegal they call it no somewhere.
Ntata tara so Atlantic for Senegambia ka otembo na nyoje.
And he told my son, look at them, if you think they are still able to give out something and they can work with them, why not?
Utumola koma sane ijibe natara inisi doko keno wala sikuta mandino. We woto ngake onya.
In what mindset did you go back into the army with?
I
feel there's something wrong in the armed forces up to that time.
Najeko fenne mantara kube sojari abunda la memman tembenu otumo.
So I feel my coming there may be a lesson for people to learn.
Namuruna oje ngamera asike doliye karangoti bensi bondi kolu kalama.
What I've gone through like this,
ndunta ko men kono teng
if I can work within the same armed forces,
ninsina muru kado ko ke sojari ya bunda kilingoto
looking them, meeting them, the torturers,
niwolu melu keta tajirewolu tinno niwolu kana nyoje,
and still we laughed, mind dying together, wine dying together.
Nka si nka jele ni ka domoro ke nyokang.
I think the Gambia listen to the young soldiers.
Ngamera auto sila molnanta sojari funding ke ulfana lamoy dale.
That everything is possible.
Ko kundi inse kenole.
Yes, so just that's what I want to show the military.
Mlefto leitandi la sojarolla.
Yes.
That's lesson of forgiveness, correct?
Yes.
Olem yam 40 yako ha.
Mr. Chairman, that will be all from me for the witness.
Thank you very much, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Darboe, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Counsel, sedo kana dimi alon ko
I have two quick points before turning to the commissioners if they have any questions to ask you. I just want you to confirm in very, very strong terms that on two occasions, you and Bunja Darboe, in civilian outfits, civilian clothes, left them at the prison, went to see the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, who attempted, as you implied, to bribe you with cigarettes, drinks, and the money to implicate or incriminate somebody who was being detained and tried.
Yes, that is the truth. That's the truth. If they can.
Two occasions.
Two occasions. We have their diaries for those 2010. If they have their entries and then our diary, they will see it there. If the
chairman nyina foko ni muku lafta nyin sinandi ku bambandi nasilola ko sinya fula minister me marta tilimunin kito la telefona mu attorney general ti wotumo kale kumandi pour kale duko si karto nin min fengol nin domorol la pour aliemo dundi man toro kono me yalon ko tuma ta fambe muto kono be kasola.
Yes, I said this is true.
Akoto nyala.
If we can look at these diaries,
ninsi o diary o lije bukolu kulu ka safe menno keno funto ni ndungo.
You will see it completely there.
Abebe tar la safari.
But this is not the first time I mentioned this thing.
Andu nyimanke sinya follow the phone nanyilu fo.
I wrote a story in our magazine, Ahua.
Nga ku kibar safe sojaro la bukoto
the first year came out.
Some follow me
I joined the armed forces, but he joined the armed forces. And because of this particular area, the former CDS said, no, you cannot name people like this in such important areas.
Katu member no CDS yala enyum foko nyinkola ko Kenya kama ite molu tolu fono la nyimfana fasongola. I
said I want to prove that I'm right. I want them to challenge me in courts in everywhere that I mentioned their names, that I'm sure I can prove it and I so it's right. That's why I'm not afraid of anything.
Akaka yanko ha lefta tonyale sabatindila. Hani kitibunda la lefta tonyale sabatindila kadu ntemang tanake andu man sila momondina. Men keta lefto le banke la pour ayke kuti moli semen fahamu katu tonyalem.
He said they cannot produce that in Ahua because you can create a problem.
Akoyete o fentindu no la sojaro la kibar kaito bala Ahua katu asikolea sabu no.
One of the editors who can give his name, invite him and ask him privately, tell you yes, Masana Syndicate is going to be published because these are top ranking people whose names are mentioned, Joguba, Gomez, and these things that may create complications. I say I want to be called in the courts.
Ko hani menka o kibar kaito la kibaru lu kumbenu nsala nomba dino andum fanang molumel ko njogu ba Gomez wulube mu molleti men ya lonko ay bota kala ma ya fama ko bari CDS ma sana kinte ko nyinte safeno la katu nyin sikeno le kuti men sina ko le ado sabu.
And on both occasions you felt that you were being bribed by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice?
Minister and Attorney General be dukukanne puri tolbela flete minke tolia.
Yes, because we are not allowed by them. Themselves say these are not allowed in mile 2. But now then, as anybody, I come into mile 2 with cigarettes in my hand, money in my pocket, I enter. Nobody goes. Even the NI who are escorting me will be told, don't nobody searches him, let him get in.
When you mukule time yalon ko kusoto remulon kato tumo hani sikarto mile tumo na buka dunje bari nintata nimbinala hani ena ewlu menu famulu kandandang ikafo na alabula kodo katara la jifo kono ala sikarto katara bulu ando ngana kadun kasola.
And the NIA individuals who were escorting you to the Minister of Justice's office, did you give them any money?
Lani NIA dokula minul be dan prison dokula minul ke dan minister la cordato NIA dokula say ngo kodo ete min soto ikar fendi le ba.
No, I needed it more than they needed it then.
Aniko kadundele sulata o kodo la katambi itolula sulola.
Well, yeah, I just want to know whether or not you took something from them. No, fine. The second point is, were you present when Abdul Karim confronted Sarjo Fofana about that mysterious telephone call during the trial?
Silang nyinin kar flanyango ite kabiring Abdul Karim benyin nyinin kakang Sarjo Fofana nyin telephone commandro ni ibenu ngele ma beta ngele.
Yeah, I was there. It was in number 4. Anyway, outside, normally we sit on the bench, we debate.
Mbijele mbesiri mbanta number 4 utumo nkasi siranjango kanje nkakacha nkakulu kacha nyote manda mangulu.
The issue came in.
Akonyi mfota jele.
And then Sarjo was trying to downplay that he was not pushed or forced to do some of these things.
Andunjelo msajo ba katakanka itandiko nyinkolu momate force moma dunga da moma bula ala fanang.
And Abdul Karim got angry.
And Abdul Karim kamfata utumo.
They went out of control together and even insults were coming there, a lot of things, and then we have to separate them. That you don't come here and tell us this stupid thing after doing all you do like this, and you come and tell us stories.
Kamfata andu hanufo ala kuo ay bulufasi hanufo nendirolu keta hanufo utumo le famu nga feroke puruka imutanyi kamala kanafuta nyoma Bari aketa kuleti no.
The officers have to intervene and separate them there.
Yo, official wole mnyaat menu bije wolle fongli dabula je ke bonyola.
But Fofana did not disclose the person he was speaking to on the phone.
Fofana man na nyimmo to wanyare ani mimbe nun diamo la nun telefonor.
No, he will never accept. He thought that he was doing his job.
Nende sonna wala kata te amera ko abala do ko le keka.
Thank you very much.